Tuesday, 2/22/22, and I'm just super excited about the day today. But wanted to just talk today about persistence and doing things even when you don't feel like it. So right now I'm in the middle of the 75 Hard Challenge, which requires 2 workouts a day, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor. So every morning I've been taking a walk. And this morning, it was snowing and it was 1 degree out, and it was really easy to make an excuse to maybe wait till later on in the day until it warms up, or, you know, to get around it in some way. And because I really did not feel like going out in the 1 degree weather. But what did I do is I pushed those thoughts out of my mind. I just bundled up as much as I could. I literally put my ski pants on. I put several layers on. I had a hood on, a hat on. I looked probably a little ridiculous, but still I got out there and I walked for 40 minutes. And it felt so great actually, and I was warm, and yeah, I was a little brisk and chilly, but you know, my body's moving, and I take that time to study. So I always listen to my videos of Bob Proctor during that time, and I was listening about the terror barrier, and basically this wall of fear that stops us from doing what we really want to go after. But I think that it's not even just fear, but they can come up as things like procrastination, or just like that little whiny voice in your head talking you out of doing things like, oh, well, who would listen to you do that? Or it's the same thing even with this vlog and these videos that I've been doing. I mean, that little chirping voice comes in a lot. And the point is to not let that voice win, to know that you've made a commitment to yourself, and that you are doing something for yourself and for the greater good, and maybe you're trying to do something to share your gifts, and we can't let that little voice of fear and doubt kind of enter into our minds, because we're always gonna have that, and it doesn't go away. It's just part of the human experience, right? It's like our ego trying to keep us safe, and it doesn't really keep us safe. It just kind of keeps us stuck. And as Bob says, it keeps us in bondage. It really is bondage when you're just stuck in your comfort zone and you can't get out of it. So, I mean, my goal is just to be the absolute best version of myself every day, and just to keep getting better and better. And of course, there's days where maybe that doesn't happen, or you don't feel like it, but if you just try to be like incrementally a little bit better every day, I mean, in 6 months you can make such a huge leap. When I look back at myself 6 months ago, I'm a different person. A year ago, I'm a completely different person, and it's cool. It's just really cool to kind of see yourself evolve, especially like if you're making videos and stuff. Like, I go back on my social media and I look at things that I've posted and videos that I've did, and I really see my own growth, which is cool. So I would actually even encourage you to just, even if you don't, post them or anything, just keep a folder for yourself about like how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about how a lot of times we don't feel like doing something, but we need to remember the commitments that we're making to ourselves and to the world, and show up anyway. Do the work regardless, right? I went out there in that 1 degree weather today. And so what can you do today that maybe you don't feel like doing, but you know it's going to get you into the direction that you're heading? It's going to help you be that 1% better. It's going to help you take that one little step towards your goal. So would love to hear if you're going to take some type of action today, or even just this week. I had something interesting happened today, an interesting revelation. I was looking through some old emails. I was trying to search for an email that I had gotten about a year ago, and so I was like looking back on whatever words that I was searching, and I ended up having like a text chain with a girlfriend of mine and I from 2011, so a long time ago, 10 years ago, or 11 years ago really, and it was and we were just talking about work, and I was saying in it about how it was like, oh, I have no motivation, like I had just started a new job at First Eagle, my prior company that I was with for about 10 years, and it was like, just saying how like I struggled to get things done and I lacked motivation and all this stuff. And it was like, oh, and I have a new job and I'm trying to like be good and I just still can't like muster up the motivation for it. And I thought that was so interesting because that was basically how I felt for most of my career. I just lacked a lot of motivation, which is interesting because I achieved a lot. And I think a couple things. One, it made me realize that we're always on this like engine or treadmill of more and achieving more and achieving more, and for me, I felt like nothing I was doing was ever enough, and I was always thinking I should be doing more, and that's not a good way to live, right? You need to really be happy with yourself and what you're doing and appreciate what you do every day. And I've heard, I think it's Tony Robbins that says like humans underestimate what they can do, or overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. So we think that we can do all these things in one day, and we can't. We only have a finite number of hours, and we're one person. It's impossible for us to do everything we can in one day, but we really underestimate what we can do in a year, because you can really make a lot of progress, significant changes in a year. And so that was one thing that I was taken away from that. But the other thing is that it just shows how all of those, that like feeling that way is habitual, right? And it is a paradigm, and it's stored in our subconscious mind, and it is a program. And I felt that way my entire career because I never changed that. And so now I am doing something that inspires me a lot more, but I still feel that way from time to time. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I am much more productive now, but I still always feel like, oh, I should be doing more, I could be doing more. That is a paradigm. So that showed me that that's another program that I need to like reprogram in my mind, and I need to be okay with what I accomplish in a day. So a lot of times we think that like switching jobs is going to do the trick, and it's gonna like reinvigorate us, and we're gonna get a new job and everything's gonna be great. But no, because you take yourself with you. So it's the same thing even with like a relationship or a new house or a new car or whatever it is. You're like, oh, I'm gonna keep this one clean, or I'm gonna make this one great, or whatever. And no, because you're the same person showing up. And until you change yourself, those outer things are not gonna change. So, I mean, I really broke a pattern in my life of totally switching careers and following my heart and doing something that I feel is like truly right in my soul. And those patterns still even show up a little bit. So I just want to share this because it just is so fascinating that, when I found that email, it just kind of hit me like, wow, I was feeling that same way. And I basically felt that way my entire career. And so it just is like the power of that program in our subconscious mind running over and over and over again. And so you need to reprogram that in order to have something different in your life. So wanted to share that with you all. If you want to learn more about reprogramming your subconscious mind and how to imprint new programs in there so that your habits and your actions are automatic, and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, instead of like struggling and fighting against it, is easy and effortless, and you're getting more done in less amount of time. If you can install those programs in your mind, then things really start to change. So if you want to learn more about that, you can always message me or leave a comment here, and would love to chat with you. Hello, it's just a routine Wednesday night. I'm making my Alka-Geyser, which is from the Wild Fit program that I'm doing, which is basically just a green smoothie. And I had some thoughts, so thought I would just turn on the video to talk about a couple things while they're on my mind. So first of all, I decided that this week I was going to start just being with myself more. Obviously I live alone, but I definitely fill the space a lot, right? So even when I'm home by myself, I mean, actually even this video could be considering filling some space, but I watch a lot of videos, I take a lot of, I'm kind of taking a bunch of courses right now, so I'm always like it's usually like educational stuff that is really enlightening and I love it, but I'm definitely am filling the space. And even when I'm in the car, I'm listening to podcasts, listening to things, or maybe even just listening to music. But again, that's kind of distracting me, or distracting all of us in life, from really like being with ourselves and really understanding what's going on inside, how we're feeling. So I decided that just a couple of days ago, I was like, okay, I want to start not just filling the space so much, and I want to just be present to what I'm doing and be with myself and kind of love on myself in the process, right? Like feel into my body, feel how it feels like to be in my legs. How do my legs feel? How do they feel in these pants? How do I feel standing here? What do my feet feel like on the floor? And when you get into your body, it really helps ground you and be more present. So anyway, that's something that I'm working on this week, and I want to continue with it. But I had some interesting thoughts come up this week. So I am doing a talk next week on goals for the CFA Society. So if you don't know what that is, it's just a designation. It's a finance designation that I hold. It's a very difficult, rigorous process to achieve. It took me about 5 years to achieve. There's only about 30,000 in the world or something like that. So it's just basically the highest level, highest distinction in the investment management industry. So from my previous finance life, I have this designation, and I'm doing a talk for the local CFA Society next week on goals. And this morning, I've been trying to drive attendance to it. So I've been reaching out to people, trying to get them to attend or spread the word for me or whatever. And I decided to text message my ex-boyfriend and, ask him to come, or he has a lot of connections in the space, to just spread the word for me. So my ex and I have been broken up for, I guess it'll be almost 3 years in a couple months. We broke up in 2019. So now we've basically been broken up for just as long as we were together. And we actually have a good relationship. I saw him about a month or so ago, and we were able to have dinner, and things are fine. And I thought about, what would happen if he, I don't know, my mind was just kind of wandering and was thinking about what if he wanted to get back together with me. And it's weird for me to talk about these things, especially, hopefully he's not watching, but and I thought to myself, no, I couldn't do that. Something in me knows that he still loves me, and I still have feelings for him too. But I think too much time has passed, too much has happened, and I just, I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. But really, what started to come up was even a fear of intimacy. So I was thinking about if we were to get back together, it would be really different this time, right? We would immediately go into something probably really serious. And the thought of being that serious with somebody and being that vulnerable with somebody really scares me. And I don't know why. And yeah, the thought of I don't know really what it is, the fear of just what would have to happen, or what would be the next step, or I don't know, but all of that scares me. And something I had realized about myself is that I've always kind of felt safe in relationships where I wasn't truly seen, or I knew there was never much of a future, which sounds so strange. And even though I deeply want a relationship, I'm definitely not willing to settle, but there's something in me, there's some really scared little girl who doesn't want to open up and doesn't want to really let somebody in on that level. So I'm just trying to explore those feelings and figure out why. And, you know, I thought maybe it would be pretty therapeutic for me to come on here and talk about it, because actually all these videos and all the content I do actually has been really therapeutic for me, because it's a way for me to be vulnerable and open myself up in a way that I really never have before. And so, yeah, I think that the more I do this, the more like progress I make in that department. And the more I just start to understand myself and have compassion for myself and can really deeply love myself more. And so anyway, I don't know if anyone has ever had feelings like that or similar to that, or situations similar to that, but I never really kind of realized that undertone of feeling so scared to be like so deeply involved with somebody. That just like makes me really nervous in some way. So I think that the best way to overcome that is to share, to be vulnerable with you all here, and hopefully to experience that in a relationship as well. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but would love to hear what you think about that, and thanks for watching. Something you may not know about me is I absolutely love to dance, and it's like a dream of mine to dance and like do like fitness classes, dance fitness classes, and to like post them as a way to like help women get into their bodies more and be comfortable in their own skin. And I keep saying that like at some point I'm gonna start posting like dancing videos on social media, and nothing scares me more than that. I don't know why, and I just feel like people are gonna be like, who is she to be posting dancing videos? And you know, that self-doubt and that creep comes in. You know, it's nothing I've ever done. I really shut down my dancing up until a couple years ago, and really I only dance at home when I'm alone, and I go crazy and I dance throughout my condo, and it feels great. And actually, if I'm in a bad mood, there's nothing better than to put on music I like and move my body and dance. And that's part of why I would love to help like inspire other women to do that. But it just scares the bejesus out of me. So I thought I'd come on here and talk about this, because I had this intention of posting an Instagram video and of me dancing and just talking about like on Friday afternoons. It's one of my favorite things to do as I'm doing it right now. And I took a couple clips of it, and it's like making me cringe, and I cannot post it. I don't know. So I just thought I would come on here and share that. And about how it's just really difficult for me. But that's something that would be a great, it's the terror barrier, right? It's something I coach on, is like we come up against that new idea, and there's just a lot of fear there. And it's something I will bust through. I mean, I'm working on a lot of other things right now in my business and stuff, so maybe that this isn't the time to start that dancing, incorporating the dancing. Although, again, if we wait for the right time for everything, that's never gonna happen. But, I'll get there at some point. Maybe if anyone's watching this, you can give me some words of encouragement, and maybe that would help me if you'd be interested in seeing videos like that, and interested in taking like dance fitness classes, and if you would even watch those videos and how you feel about them. I would love to hear your feedback, and maybe that'll help give me some courage and confidence to do it one day. Today I did a talk for the CFA Society here in Denver, and it was such a cool experience for me, because I've been to many of those breakfasts before, hearing investment professionals speak all about markets and stuff like that, and it was so cool and exciting for me to be able to present on goals, something that, you know, the CFA Society, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's Chartered Financial Analyst. That's what my designation is back there. It's a finance related industry. It's, you know, they do all educational things around finance. They never really have anything outside of finance, basically. So I had gone to the board and was able to get this speaking spot. So it was just really cool to present on a topic that is obviously near and dear to my heart, which is all about setting the right types of goals. And it was great. I had a great audience. There were probably about 20 people there, and had great questions. Everyone seemed really engaged. I've already had a bunch of people download the workbook and been reaching out to me. They're scheduling their I offered them a goal discovery call with me, and they're reaching out. I already have a few of those booked, and it just is so exciting because a big goal of mine and a big dream of mine is to bring more mindfulness or like spirituality into the finance world. And the finance world is so left-brained, right? So analytical, which is how I used to be too. And I really believe that this information can help them excel so much more in their lives and live a better life. And so I want to bring this into that world, and this was such a cool start. I mean, I know obviously I've been on this path already because all of my clients, pretty much all my clients, are from the finance industry, but that's like knocking off one at a time. It just feels great to be working on my goals and working on my dreams and doing it and getting it done. So I just wanted to share that today, that every step is a step in the direction of where I'm going. And I have this huge, big picture, this vision for myself. And even though that seems so far away, when I have these days like today where I do something that's like really impactful, and I know that I'm on the right track, it's so exciting. And I wanted to share that with you all today. The other thing that I'm working on right now is it is March 3rd, and I have a really big goal for myself for the month of March, and that is enrolling 11 clients in the month of March. And this is going to be a tall order for me. My typical enrollment has been between like just 2 and 3 clients per month for the past year, so this will obviously be a really big jump. But I believe in my heart that I can do it, and I'm really going to focus and get this done. So I want to show that, being intentional and like, you having these goals, that you can get it done. You just really have to have that belief. You got to take the action, this inspired action. And I did enroll a new client yesterday, so I have one already this week. So there's 5 weeks in March, which equates to about 2.2 clients that I would need to enroll per week. And so I'm halfway there. Tomorrow's Friday, but I have a couple good calls set up tomorrow, so maybe I will get somebody else to enroll tomorrow. And I'm just gonna be going on this like reach out blitz where I start marketing a lot more than I have, and start doing like a ton more reach outs. And I was talking to a coach of mine actually that I work with. He does helps me with marketing and stuff, and we were talking today about the game plan, and he was saying how this will be a good thing for me because I've been so hesitant to send out too many emails, or I don't want to be annoying and I don't want people to unsubscribe. But you know what, like, the people that are meant to work with me are not going to unsubscribe. They want to work with me, and they should be seeing my name more, and I can't use that excuse to hold me back from doing what I need to do. And if people unsubscribe, great, right? It's just not meant to be. They're not going to work with me. I don't want to work with somebody that wants to unsubscribe from my stuff. I only want to work with people that what I say speaks to them and it resonates with them. And so that's kind of what I'm up to this week. It's been a really exciting week, and I just am so grateful for this path. Actually, it's been a really busy, crazy whirlwind of a week. And the other thing that I have going on is my virtual assistant starts on Monday. So I met her yesterday for the first time, just for like a quick connect call, but she officially starts on Monday. So right now I'm working on a whole game plan for her and what she's gonna do. And this is the first time I'm bringing somebody into my business. And I decided that like anyone that works for me is going to live by what I live by. So I'm going to coach her on mindset. And the very first thing I'm going to have her do is set a personal and professional goal. And I want to know what she really wants in life. And anyway, I'm just really excited about that. I'm excited to be a leader and really step into this leadership role and kind of test the waters with that. Having somebody work for me, it's just a huge step in my business. I'm really proud of myself, and I just am here to tell you all about like work on your dreams every day, because it can come true. It's all coming true for me, and it just feels amazing. So anything is possible when we put our minds to it and we have that burning desire in our hearts and we back it up with action, inspired action, and a game plan. And that's what I'm going to do this month too. That's the other thing I've been working on is I'm working on a set plan with like number of reach outs and a marketing plan for this month to get those 11 clients. And that's how I'm going to achieve it. In my mind, it's already done. And anyway, so I appreciate everyone who watches this. I appreciate everyone, really. I couldn't say that enough. And everyone that came to my talk this morning, and just so looking forward to this journey. And if you ever want to learn about what it looks like to work with me, I would love to take you on that journey and just even explain to you what it's like and what happens in those 6 months. So just keep going. That's all I have to say today. Love you. Bye.